Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending on where you're watching from. It's Tuesday, the 21st of June, and it's time for Craft and Chat, my weekly chat for 20 minutes or so, and then some crafting. If you are here, either live on Facebook or YouTube, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you can see and hear me clearly. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do that. So I hope you are all doing well. Summer solstice today. 21st of June. How can we be this far into 2022? It's amazing. Good afternoon, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us. And Marion as well. Apparently it's cool in Perth in Western Australia. Lynn saying she can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much. Winter solstice. Yes, Marion. So I'm hesitant to say this because I don't know. I've got a bit of self-doubt going on here, but it is the longest day for us, isn't it? I'm not dreaming that. And Marion, the shortest day for you. You know how you think you know something and then actually you're not sure? Let me know in the comments. Is it the longest day? It's Marion's shortest day. Oh dear. Good morning, Deborah. The sun is shining in Calgary. That is good to know. Angela and Chris are here from Newbury. Oh, they had lunch in the garden. Very pleasant outside. Yeah, Brian and I had lunch in the garden yesterday, actually. But he's gone into the office today. So I am home alone again on a Tuesday. I'm not expecting any parcels though today. So we should be all right. Shouldn't have to go and run and answer the door. Good to see you too, Jen and Lorraine. And Jenny, so Jenny's saying it's the shortest day. So in Oz, it's the shortest day. So it must be the longest day, yes. Thank you so much for confirming my thoughts. I don't know. Bit of self-doubt creeping in there. It's not something that I'm normally, normally I'm the things that I know, but I wasn't sure about that. So we're not going to mention the fact that if today's the longest day, no, we're not going to talk about that. Means, yeah, it's going to get darker earlier. No, we're just going to enjoy the summer. That's what we're going to do. But Jenny and Marion are going to enjoy the fact that they're getting closer to summer, I am sure. Thank you, Anne, for confirming. Longest day. Happy Suffolk Day. Is that like a thing, Anne? Is that a thing? Deborah's saying longest day in Canada too. Shortest day, says Donna. Lorraine's calendar's confused. No, it is the longest day. Hi, Valerie. Hollywood, Florida is in the house. Hello, hello. Jenny's got her hippos. Hooray! Okay. You see, not everyone's going to know, Jenny, what your hippos are about. So, she's talking about a celebration item that's coming in a couple of weeks. I will be showing it all to you soon, just not yet. So apparently Happy Suffolk Day is like a real thing. So Anne's saying there's lots of things going on, bunting up and parties and free entry to things. How exciting. Never heard of it. Hello, Roz. How you doing? How are you doing? Okay, so what do I have to talk to you about today? Summer holidays, actually. I was talking to my team today about classes and events and things that we're going to be doing over the summer, and you know how we work our business during the summer, because obviously people are away and we go on holiday and various things. So we were talking about that. So I thought I'd ask, you know, what are your plans for the summer? Are you going away? Are you, you know, having a little holiday at home? Are you traveling? Are you not traveling? Yeah, it's interesting. We are cruising. We're going to the Norwegian fjords in a few weeks, not many weeks. I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Don't know. I've got a lot of things to do before I get on the ship. And then we're home most of the rest of July and August, and then it's Kimberly's wedding at the beginning of September and her UK part of it at the end of September. So kind of September is going to be more of our kind of holiday time as well, really. So we'll be staycationing and going to the beach mainly in the summer. So I would love to know, kind of, are you around? Are you not around? One of the things that I have on my list of things to do is a class in August, which will probably be, it'll be an online class, but it'll have a Zoom and it'll have recorded content and things. So that will be happening in August. Keep an eye out for that. So even if you're away, you will be able to catch up on like a replay and things. So I'm a little bit excited about that. And this week, I have been planning the Christmas retreat 2022. We had so much fun last year. A date for your calendars, 15th of October. It is a very, very important date. It's actually my dad's birthday. So sorry, Dad. I'm gonna be working, but that's okay. But that's the best date for that event. So it will be the Friday evening, because we have a Christmas Eve gathering. Those of you that came last year, we had so much fun. And then it'll be an all day on the Saturday. So watch out for that. There will be several variations, and there'll be online versions for my international friends. So I am a little bit excited. I hope you're excited too. So I'm very, I am in full-on Christmas planning, but as well as sort of adding in sort of summer holiday plans, let me know when do you start your Christmas crafting? Because again, I've been talking to my team about this, about when they actually start doing classes and giving ideas and inspiration for Christmas. Let me know in the comments. So let's have a look. Right. So there's lots of comments about the hippos. So there's quite a few team members and international Stampin' Up demonstrators in the chat. And one of the awesome things about being a Stampin' Up demonstrator is we get to see stuff first and we can get to order it first. So there is the cutest set of hippos, as a free choice. It's a stamp set as a free choice in Celebration, which starts in July. So it runs in July and August. And yeah, there is a lot of love for those hippos. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates. They are very cute. So my mum and dad are here. Hello, Mum. Pauline to everybody else. And Lorraine is doing a happy clap for the Christmas retreat. Yay! I'm so pleased. Hello, Joanne. Julie. It's supposed to be over 100 degrees in Ohio today. I don't know what that relates to in centigrade, but that I think is mighty hot. That will be Fahrenheit, obviously. Valerie's saying, look at me, she wants to go and see the fjords. Ooh, she's going up north, a little bit further north to Tampa Bay to have a crop and meet and greet with her team. Oh, that's brilliant, Valerie. Oh, it's just so nice to gather together. I'm actually seeing my team at the end of July in person for the first time in 2.5 years, which is very exciting. So, a few answers to the question about Christmas crafting. Chris does it all year, so she's not too pressured at the end of the year. Let me just remove that comment. So Roz saying my crew sounds lovely. I think it's good. Yeah, I am just so looking forward to just chilling out and seeing beautiful scenery and going for walks. That's kind of what my plan is for our holiday. She normally starts Christmas crafting in January, but it's been having lots of health problems. I hope that things are improving for you, Roz. So yeah, so who else? So let me know about Christmas, because I love Christmas. I would show you Christmas projects all year round. But, you know, I really don't want to make you too sad about Christmas projects all year round. So my plan this year was to start showing them middle of August time, because the catalogue comes out in 10 days. That's got all of our Christmas themed stuff in it. But I just don't, there's so much stuff still in the annual catalogue that we haven't even scratched the surface of yet. I'm not sure that I'm ready to go into full-on Christmas crafting yet. So Donna's saying that she does Christmas cards when she feels the need, but normally August. Lorraine is Christmas planning throughout the year. Valerie's saying she's going to do Christmas in July. She doesn't want to be scrambling this year. Yeah, so it's quite interesting because I buy Christmas presents all year round, or I make things. And I've got several things on the go at the moment for making stuff for Christmas. But my Christmas cards and bags and tags and things like that, I tend to build up. And then, so I'll do it kind of all through the autumn and pretty much stop at the beginning of December, which is quite interesting because a lot of people don't start until December. Oh dear. I remember getting a phone call from one of my customers who was desperate to get some stamps, and it was like a week before Christmas. And she hadn't actually started her Christmas card making. So we actually talked, and she sorted out something that she had, because by the time she'd ordered something, it just wouldn't have got there in time. But yeah, lots of people don't do it until December. Oh, that's a good plan. Helen starts after her birthday at the end of July. Marion's saying she starts her Christmas crafting in September. One of her customers won't mention Christmas till September. Yeah, so with my card club that I used to run before COVID, we would make one Christmas card a month from April, end of April, or well, it was after Easter. So once we hit Easter, then we would make one Christmas card a month, just to get people kind of thinking about it. Because let's face it, you send Christmas cards. For those of you that send Christmas cards, should I say, that is going to be the most amount of any one subjective card that you actually send. Because chances are you don't send birthday cards to everybody that you send Christmas cards to. Maybe you do. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So Deborah, I love that plan. So she has to start making Christmas cards now, because she gives gifts of Christmas cards to her sisters who have birthdays in autumn or the fall. That's a really good plan. Oh, that's good, Lorraine. So she's part of a challenge where you make 3 or 4 Christmas cards or tags a month, and it soon builds up. Yeah, you see, now I'm a real fan of doing a little bit of Christmas crafting often. And I make a lot of cards that are exactly the same. And for those of you that came to the Christmas retreat last time, we did a stamper stack. And the stamper stack is where you have multiples of the same style of card or the same design of card. And we'll be doing that again. And it just makes things so much easier, because the reality is most people aren't going to see the card that you've sent to somebody else. So you can make multiples if you like, and it's so much faster. So yeah, awesome. Okay, right, I'm going to have a quick slurp of my tea. Karen's asking for the dates for the Christmas retreat because her son called just as we were we were talking about it. It's Saturday the 15th of October, and there'll be a Friday evening, so the 14th as well, Christmas Eve thing. I will be sending out an email to the people who attended last year, and they will get first dibs on the places. How cool is that? Oh, Marion, I'm just looking at your comment going, oh, I like your puffins. And I'm thinking, I can't see any puffins here. And I know I've got a puffin downstairs. When Brian and I went to Orkney, he bought me a little puffin. But you mean the puffins on my cup? Oh no, Karen, that's your birthday. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Does that mean you'll be able to come and then go out in the evening? Or is that like a bit too much? It's my dad's birthday as well, Karen. I didn't know that. You have the same birthday as my dad. Jan said she loved the Stamper Stack at Christmas retreat last year. Thank you. And Jan, I've got a plan. So we are going to, for the Stamper Stack, we are going to use note cards. So they are 5 inches by 3.5-ish. So a little bit smaller than a standard card size. Still a nice card size, but a little bit smaller. But it'll mean that you won't have to do as much prep, because the card blanks and the envelopes will be done. Oh, darn it. Sorry, Karen. You can do it on the replay. Or you can have the PDF. Helen's coming to a team day in July, and it was her 30th birthday present to herself. So does that mean that it's actually your birthday on the 23rd, Helen, or are you celebrating early or late? Hi, Karen. Apparently it's cloudy in Northumberland. Okay, we can stay talking about Christmas forever, but we'll move on a little bit. So I've had a few calls or messages, emails about people wanting to sell cards that they make with Stampin' Up stamps, and or whether or not it's okay, and so on. And the answer is yes, so long as it's a hand-stamped card or project. And basically what that means is Stampin' Up are saying, yes, of course, you can use our stamps, paper, ink, dyes, everything to make cards, and then you can sell them, but you mustn't reproduce them in any way. So you can't digitally reproduce them or photocopy them or, screenshot them or whatever. You have to physically make it yourself. And you do need to have a copyright Stampin' Up stamp on the back. Now, some people print it on there or put a label on there, but you can buy stamps. And I wanted to show you the stamp set because I'm loving this. And yet again, there are a couple of things that a couple of stamps in here that I would have bought just for those stamps alone. So this is the stamp set. It's called limited edition. So this one here is just purely a plain copyright Stampin' Up. But this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one all also have the copyright Stampin' Up underneath. I'm just seeing if it's not focusing properly. The thing is, when it sees my face, it tends to focus on my face. So I adore this set, and it's this one here, the hand stamped with like the stamp there, and this one, a paper hug from me. So I've been using that particular sentiment a lot just recently. It is a red rubber stamp set. It's in the annual catalogue. And it's really, really cool. And then look at this one here. This is like a postage stamp. And I mean, the awesome thing about red rubber stamps, and those of you who've been around with me for a long time know I do this, is you can snip bits off that you don't want. So for instance, if on this stamp, if you just want that bit of the stamp, you could just snip that off. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Amanda's telling us to chop the stamps up. But I do that. I do that quite a lot with sentiments. If it's got something on it that I'm not going to use, then yeah, I snip it off. Good afternoon, Sue. She's just got home, and yeah, Helen's loving that floral postage stamp as well. So there you go. So that is the stamp set that you need. It's very cool. What I am going to do is just put this up here. So this is the angel policy. Now, an angel policy is where stamp companies basically explain the rules and regulations. And I don't know, there's like 6 or 7. And it's all done in legal speak. So kind of pick your way through the words. But basically, if you are hand stamping stuff and you are selling it, it is absolutely fine. Just make sure you get the copyright stamp on the back. Or, as I said, lots of people print it on or put labels on or whatever. So that is really, really cool. So let's take that off. So today I am going to be working with this set. Now, for those of you that are doing the craft along, this is what I'm going to be using. And craft along is next week. The kits have gone in the post, so they'll be with you in plenty of time for next Tuesday. So yeah, so I'm going to be crafting with this. Oh, I should have mentioned it's free shipping day today. I did email about it when I found out on Saturday, and I emailed this morning just to let you know. So for any of my local peoples, if you want me to place an order that you can come and collect, I will have an order going in at 5 o'clock today. So you've got like 2.5 hours to get me an email. And I'll just email you an invoice over and you can just pay online. So, yeah, free shipping. It is £60 is the minimum spend, and then you get free shipping today. Okay, so let me turn the camera around and we will get started. So let's deal with that. Okay, right. How are we doing? Can you still hear and see me okay? I'll move my mouse out of the way and my tea because that is good. Okay, so let's have a look. Helen's saying stamp surgery is a game changer, even though it feels wrong. Good morning, Kathy Jean. Good. Chris and Anne and Julie, yeah, all good, all good, all good. Marvelous. Okay, so I love this set. It is so cool. And there's so many elements to it. And I think the thing here as well is the stamps and the dies kind of can work independently. I think the stamp set itself is really, really cool. And I love the sentiments. And because you've got like this little T tag, and you've got these little sentiments that fit onto it, it's just really, really cool. There are dies, and I have been cutting so many dies. When you, when those of you that are doing craft along, or when you open your kit, don't lose, don't lose them, because there are teeny weeny things. Okay, so there are things that kind of, you know, make a lot of sense. So you've got the tags, and you've got the teacups. So this is like a filigree teacup and a standard teacup, and obviously the little tags fit here on the tiny stamps, and then obviously you've got the bigger tag that does that one, which is very cool. You've got some hearts. Where are the hearts? You've got some hearts. You've got the lemon slices. And then you've got these pieces, which all cut out the stamped images. So you've got this leaf, the foliage there. You've got these flowers here. You've got this, and I love that Stampin' Up's doing this now, where you get two of the same die. So you can stamp two of this and actually cut them both out at the same time. And then the same with this flower. Now this flower isn't symmetrical, so you have to kind of whiz it around, turn it around until it fits perfectly. Oh, and I forgot to say that that little tag also cuts out that teeny tiny thing as well. So it is very, very cool. Now I'm gonna just push those up there, because my second card I'm actually going to use the dies, and I've actually, look, I've got my cut and emboss and everything ready to go. But I thought I would start out with some very simple stamping. But I'll do a quick flick through the papers actually. So the paper stack is 48 sheets. You get 4 each of the 12 designs. So you've got quite a patterned side and then a more monochrome side. So you've got like a gingham, teapots and spots. No surprises, that's one of my favorite sides. These little letters and like a hash print, textured print, more teapots, more of a watercolor wash, flowers and tiny leaves. Now this print, I love this. So this and this, they're very similar, but this is obviously a bigger scale than this one. These are really pretty. The green stripes and more polka dots, lemons, and this little sort of half flower, more teapots, cups, stripes, teacups. So really pretty mix of papers. But like I said, you've got the vibrancy on one side, but more monochromatic on the other. And I think that that's just a really good set of papers, because sometimes you may want the busyness of the lemons or some teapots, but you might not. So there you go. So that's those. So let's get some card out. So this is thick, very vanilla card. Can you hear that wobble? That right, so this is normal basic white card. You can hear it's quite flexible, whereas this one, it's not as flexible. I don't know what I'm trying to show you really, apart from the fact that this is thicker and heavier gauge than this. I wouldn't make a card base out of this as a general rule. It's just not thick enough. So that's why I buy the thick. Now I'm going to be stamping straight on this card front. And I appreciate this is not something that everybody wants to do. Because the reality is, if I mess it up, I've messed it up. But I just really like the look of it and the effect of it. If it is a bit too much for you to do that, you can still get the same kind of effect, but just put a layer on of the same vanilla colour, and that will work really well. So I've got some sparkles and I've got a million stamps. Not really, but a lot. And guess who's going all blue? So here's a question for you. Card number 1 is 2 blues. Starry Sky and Tahitian Tide. Card number 2, I'm only making 2 cards today. Card number 2 has got an additional colour added. What colour do you think I'm going to add? And you can put it in the comments and I will tell you a little bit later on when we get to that point. Okay, so let me just check. Yeah, we are good. Okay. So I am starting out with a starry sky. It's just such a beautiful colour. And then we're going to have the leaves in Tahitian Tide because I can. I know it's not traditional, but look how cool that is. Now, these flowers are awesome. There is a little die. There is a little die, look, that cuts them out as well, which is uber cool. But I really like that. So we're going to pop those down there. And we are going to put this sentiment. Oh, look. Covered in ink already, and I've only just started. The thing is as well with the blue inks, look, it doesn't really go away. Right, so So I'm just going to get my rhinestones and my pokey tool. So there's lots of comments coming in about what it is. What is my additional colour? So if you're still guessing, I've got Starry Sky and Tahitian Tide here. For my next card, I'm adding one more colour. What colour do you think I'm going to add? Glue dots all over my pokey tool. Let's, ooh. Just put that down there as well. Okay. Let me just reinforce that score line and show you this finished card. How cool is that? It says, let's get together soon, which for me is a perfect sentiment because, you know, how many times do we need just to send a little card? And yeah, you could send a text. But as this stamp set says, well, I pointed this out earlier, it's a paper hug from me. That's what a card in the post is. So, you know, let's get together soon. Let's have a cup of tea or cake or put gin in your teacup if that's what works for you. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's move those out of the way and see what colours you all guessed. So, okay, so Sweet Sorbet, a green, Parakeet Party, that's green, Balmy Blue, a new blue one, said Joanne, yellow, Tahitian Tide, yeah, no, not that one, Fresh Freesia, Helen says she loves stamping things in non-traditional colours. The purple one, so that's Orchid Oasis, Joanne. Roz is saying she didn't think she needed the set, but may reconsider. The leaves and flowers are lovely. They are, and they work really well independently as well. Orchid Oasis, Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis. Thank you, Jan, for saying beautiful card. It is Parakeet Party. So you all know that my favourite colour is blue. Or what's my next favourite colour? Green. So yes, it was always going to be green. It probably wasn't though, to be fair. I quite often mix things up a lot. But this card, this next card, is going to have more elements on it, more things going on. So I need to start out by making some card blanks and things. So we do this here on Craft and Chat quite often. We do this where I don't actually decide which way round the colours are going to go until I finish the card. Because sometimes you have more of one colour than another colour in your card. And the reality is you want it to balance. And it can't balance if you can't sort of change the ratio of the colours. So what I'm going to do is I am making a standard card in all three colours and a layer in all three colours. So I can play around and we can have a vote. And as normal, we will all have a vote and nobody will agree. No, that's not true, actually. Quite often we do agree, just not always. Yes, Donna, you were right with the green. Parakeet party. I'm just loving these new in colours. And it's, I don't know, I wasn't, it's funny because I wasn't aware that I was missing that kind of colour palette. I didn't think I was sort of missing some bright colours. I mean, let's be fair, I've been missing turquoise, absolutely. But the other colours, not so much. But it turned out I didn't know what I needed. So let's see. Now, if you struggle with mats and layers, I have some videos that talk about all of the different mats and layers I do. And for my North American friends, I am doing one specifically for you fairly shortly. It's on my list. Right. Let me cut a couple of these. So I've got a spare in case I mess up, because, you know, it happens often. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So, this is one of Amanda's top tips. Cut card blanks and layers in your favourite colours in multiples. When you've got your trimmer out, it's much faster to cut half a dozen card blanks and then put it away than it is to get your trimmer out, make a card blank, put your trimmer away, get your trimmer out, make a card blank. Do you see what I mean? It's much faster to do several at a time. I normally have card blanks in all of the colours made already, but I've been using these colours so much I didn't have any spare. And the same with your layers as well. So obviously we've got all of those ready to go. So that's cool. I've also got the baker's twine. Now this comes in all 5 colours. I've just got the 3 colours that match today. It does come in a set of all 5 of the new in colours. So let me grab these bits. And so I have already stamped and die cut some of the flowers. Now, let me just show you. So this one here is Tahitian Tide, and this is Tahitian Tide with a tiny bit of Starry Sky as well. So it's there's a bit of colour going on there. So let me just show you how I did that. So what I did was I inked up the stamp in Starry Sky and stamped it off quite a lot, but I didn't clean it. Okay, so I've got most of the ink off, but I haven't actually cleaned it. And then I inked it up on the Tahitian Tide and stamped it. And you can see, pull that down a little bit. You can see you've got a little bit of both. Now, make sure that you get most of the ink off, as otherwise your Tahitian Tide will end up with loads of blue on it. but a tiny little bit isn't too bad. Your other way of doing this is ink it up into Tahitian Tide and then put a little few dots of a marker around the edge as well. Okay, so that's how I got those. Let me get this. So I am going to start out, actually, decisions. Shall we go? I don't know. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to go. Oh no, I think I will go with the leaves. So I'm inking this one up in Starry Sky. And I'm stamping it on Tahitian Tide. And then I'm going to have to die cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the stamping bits first. And then I'll do all the die cutting at once. Otherwise we'll be here for hours. Right. So I'm going to use this really bold leaf. I'm going to stamp 3. I need the little tag. And it says it's time for tea. And let's start there. I think it might cut and emboss out. I don't know how much this is actually going to rattle. So don't tend to cut on camera. I'll just move that up. There we go. Oh, that's a bit wonky. I couldn't work out then whether it was my paper that was wonky or the plates, but it was the paper. Whoa. Okay, let's get that one out. Whoa! I did that. I flew off there. Just pick that up as well. I'm looking at that teacup and I'm not sure that teacup's right. Whoa. We will have a play in a second and see. One more of those. I think I'll cut that teacup out, but I shall also cut out some other bits as well. Okay. My dies are all falling on the floor. So that one, we're going to cut that out, and let's cut out that bit, the sort of leaf filigree type element, and then I'll cut out another. I'll cut out another teacup in the Tahitian tide, and we'll see. Deborah's looking at all my open ink pads, thinking it's a disaster waiting to happen. It is a disaster waiting to happen, Deborah. It is. I normally shut them up, but I have got a bit more stamping to do. So this is so cool. It cuts out so well. Look how delicate this is. Look at all those little bits going everywhere. Look. That's so cool, isn't it? Right, so let me just... I'm just going to cut both of these out as well, because I haven't decided. And we can go that route. Oh. Let me just get those out the way. Get my cut and emboss on the floor. And get these bits out. Rose is saying that the tags could be used as tea bags as well. Absolutely. They are so cool. Right. Scoot all of that. So I've got 2 filigree teacups. I've got this teacup. I've got this teacup. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to use this. But obviously I could use this. Or if you want like a really fancy monochromatic teacup, that's very cool as well, isn't it? But I think I should probably go with that one. Right, now, where is my mats and layers and my elements and my string? Actually, I don't need these anymore. Let's see where we're going with this. So let's bring in a piece of grid paper. And again, so this is how I have a kind of an idea in my head, but I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to go with it. I will just play around with the elements and see how they're going to all fit together. So I wanted this foliage, a scattering of the flowers. There's another blue one. A little tiny tag is going to hang on there. And the lovely, thank you. Let me just pull that up. There we go. Which is going to go down there like that. So basically, what I've done is I've kind of pulled my elements together. I've decided where my sentiment's going to go down there at the bottom. And it's just now a case of tweaking it. So I'm just going to take that teacup off and pop in this teacup. Bye, Lorraine. See you later. And actually, I think I prefer that. So that's where we're going to go. And I'm just looking at the flowers. And I'm just going to move that one around. And that one around. And we're good. Okay. So now this is just a case of doing the stamping and assembling. And as I said earlier about cutting lots of mats and layers and card blanks, if you're going to make a card like this, make 2 or 3. And keep them in your stash for the days when you haven't got time to make a card, or you're not feeling very well, but it's somebody's birthday. How many times does that happen? And then you're scrabbling around like the day before to get it in the post or whatever to them. So if you make 2 or 3 cards the same at once, you've always then got a stash. And we were talking earlier about gifting Christmas cards. Well, why not gift birthday cards? This is something my mum does. My mum, for my aunt, makes her a stack of birthday cards, and she gives them to her for her birthday. And it just means that she's got beautiful handmade cards to give all year long. So I'm going to use a little bit of a tape on the back of this tag, because I'm going to put some baker's twine on it, but I'm going to do that last because it will depend on all of the colours. So I'm going to start out with the teacup, because of all of the things, that's kind of the focal point. And I'm going to put it up on dimensionals and put all the dimensionals on. Lots of dimensionals. You don't want a saggy middle. And once that's on, I'm going to put my sentiment down, because I can then position it where it needs to be, which is just underneath, like that. So then we're going to go with all of the leaves. And I'm going to put one down at the back, sort of flat, and then put the other 2 on dimensionals. So I'm going to pop that there. And always make sure to use these side bits of your dimensionals. Don't waste them. Helen's saying this is her new favourite stamp set. Oh no, Helen. The thing is, there are so many amazing stamps, but this is just so cool. Do you know what? I'm just looking at this and I need to move that teacup up a bit. Don't shout at me. Yuck. But it's got to move. It's just a little bit too far down. I just wanted a little bit more of a gap. There we go. Sometimes you look at it and you go, oh no, it's a bit too close. It was. That's the cool thing about glue though. You can lift things up, you can move things about. And at the end of the day, it's not a disaster. It's an opportunity to embellish it with something sparkly. So let's pop that there. So now our flowers, which are here, I'm just going to get my ball tool and give them a little bit of dimension. So this is a stamping mat, which is a foam mat, and I use it always for the photopolymer stamps. But if you get your ball tool from your scoreboard, simply scored, and just press in the center of your flowers, or kind of do a rolling motion, it actually just curves up your flowers a little bit and just gives them a little bit more dimension. And I'm just going to lift off these lovely rhinestones. I'm going to pop a rhinestone in the center of each one. Famous last words. The rhinestones are perfect size for this. Just that last one. And then I'm going to use glue dots to pop these down. So a glue dot doesn't put as much dimension on as a dimensional, but it does mean that you have a little bit, it just, because the glue, oh, it's impossible to see. The glue is just a little dot in the center. It just means then that the petals are actually still lifted. And of course, we've got an odd number of flowers here. One needs to come down a bit. One down a little bit, one up a little bit. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so where's my little tag gone? We're going to put the little T tag there. I think I'm going to use the Parakeet Party Baker's Twine. And just going to have it so it hangs off the handle. That's what they're designed to do, the little T tags. Sorry, I'm looking, busy looking for my glue dots that I've just put down. Yeah, they're kind of designed to go around your handle. So that's all I'm going to do. So I'm just put a little glue dot round there and just stick it behind. which is going to be one of those famous last words things. Come on. It's really not as difficult as I'm making it out to be. I promise. Oh dear. Right. Let's just pop that dimensional there. And then just kind of have it so it's just kind of hanging down. You can use your pokey tool just to make sure it's kind of tucked in where you want it to be. There. And then we've got the decision making to go. Okay, so are you ready for this? Oh, well, let me close that starry sky up. I don't want to upset everyone. So, starry sky. Nope. Yeah, that works for me. Or, so that's an option. No, you see that? I'm not loving the parakeet party as the base. So that works. Or parakeet party as the layer. Ooh. Oh, I quite like that. That's quite zingy. Okay, so here are your choices. So this is one. This is starry sky with a parakeet party layer. And this is two. So which one do you prefer? This one or this one? One or two? Let me know. And I will get my glue out and put a few things away. And then we'll see. We'll give you a second or two to decide. Look at all the rubbish. Okay, so this is one, this is two. So, oh my word, the votes are coming in fast. I'll have a slurp of my tea first. I've got to scroll backwards. Move this out of the way so I can move my mouse. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for number one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for number two. I'd say that was pretty conclusive. Yay! So this is going on the parakeet party layer. And then the Starry Sky layer. There we go. So there is your finished card. Love it. So here's the other card. So this was done on vanilla. So you can actually see quite a difference here between the basic white and the very vanilla. But a simple card. Just stamping on a thick vanilla layer. And then a much more detailed card with the dies and the stamping. Just love the teacups and all of the elements that kind of pull that together. Right, so let's just see all of the comments. Thank you so much. I'm so pleased that you're liking the cards. For those of you that are doing craft along next week, obviously we're going to be playing with some more of these elements as well. But the stamps are so pretty. And, you know, the leaves and the flowers, you can use those completely independently, which works really, really, really well. So yeah, so I'll see about sharing some more ideas with these stamps, actually, another craft and chat, so you can actually see just using the flowers and leaves on their own. All right, well, I will love you and leave you. I will be back here both on Facebook and YouTube next Tuesday, which will be the 28th of June at 2 o'clock. All of the products that you've seen today are available in my online store. If you pop over to www.inspiringinking.com and click the shop button, you'll be able to shop straight away. If you've got an order to place it today. It's free shipping. Stampin' Up are giving away free shipping today, Tuesday the 21st of June, and it runs until 11 p.m. UK time tonight, if your order is £60 or more. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will look forward to seeing you here next week. And for some of you, I'll see you at Craft and Chat next week as well. So take care, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.